torch, you better run with that.
Today, you're gonna see 10 of the most emotional moments in Kendrick Lamar's life. First, he opened up about where he came from and why so many fans misunderstand that.
The people listening to it or reading it, know who I am first, understand where I come from before you make any remarks, because I've been through a lot and I've seen a lot, and where I come from, I did a lot to tear down my own community.
Wow.
So for you to not recognize that and see 100% flip, please learn it.
And when he also talked about depression,
I was surprised to hear some of the things that you were saying over here when you talk about depression and reveal suicidal thoughts. And I'm like,
I think I've pulled that song not only from previous experiences, but I think my whole life. I think everything is drawn out of that. Even situations from Good Kid, Mad City. It wasn't that much. It wasn't that vulnerable. Nothing was as vulnerable as that record. So it's even pulling from those experiences of coming up in Compton. It's pulling with the experience of going through change and accepting change. That's the hardest thing for man, accepting change. And when I was on that tour bus and things is happening back home in my city or in my family that I can't do nothing about, it's out of my control, I don't can put it in God's hands, I couldn't understand that. And that can draw a thin line, between you having your sanity and you losing it. And this is how artists deteriorate if you don't catch yourself. So with these things happening, my release therapy is writing the music. And this was one of the records that came about.
Next, how he went from selling CDs to making it to the Super Bowl main event.
And be the first solo hip-hop artist to headline. How does it feel being the artist to hit that milestone?
It made me think about like the grind of it. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't see like the story before the glory, man. And it's like shuffling out your mixtapes and, going to neighborhoods and parties and performing there, hole in the wall spots. It reminds me of the essence and the core response of rap and hip hop and how far it can go. So for me, it should mean everything because it puts the culture on the forefront where it needs to be and not minimized to just a catchy song or verse. This is a true art form. So to represent it on this type of stage is like everything that I've worked for and everything that I believe in as far as the culture. Like I live and die by it. It done changed my whole family life, so I don't take it for granted at all as far as an art form,
After that, he always wanted to be happy, and he never chased fame.
You don't seem to chase fame at all.
No, I thought I wanted to. But it wasn't confirmation for me. It wasn't confirmation of success. You get money and you feel like you're gonna buy all these different things and, a whole bunch of stuff. But at the end of the day, you still gonna be unhappy. That's what people don't understand, you feel me? I had to find a different type of inspiration and something to live for rather than just how much money I make. I can't preach this same type of thing to the homie in the hood because he ain't got nothing. Until he get it, he'll understand what I'm talking about. But from how can I explain it is, it's always been the root of all evil. People forget that, you could be able to support yourself and your family, things like that, but it brings issues, man.
You agree, Envy?
Money always brings issues. That's why you keep your family tight.
Afterward, he talked about how he should be real and deliver his true story to his fans.
What's true to me and what will impact the person listening. The idea of making that connection again, but without being a false story, people can write about anything, but if I don't feel it, then the listener sure enough ain't gonna feel it. Simple as that. So the first idea is me coming to grips with what I'm feeling at the moment. When I have records like Feel, or I have records like Fear, or Pride, these are some of the first initial ideas, coming across music. I sit with beats, we create them from scratch, and I just sit and live with it until I'm able to reach that point of, this is what I feel like.
And that could take days?
Yeah, it could take months. Yeah, it could take months, the right approach, or it could take 2 minutes, Me understanding that process and knowing how I work, to execute it is the best for me. And I have a great team around me that has a lot of patience because sometimes I can't just pour these words out of the sky. I have to really just indulge myself in it.
He opened up about being the voice of this generation and what his emotions are about.
But a lot of people have chosen you to be the voice of this generation. What kind of pressure does that put on you?
I don't necessarily say pressure. All I can, do is continue to be an actual human being and to show them that, I go through the same emotions and the same, feelings that y'all go through.
Yeah.
So if they put that as being the leader of this generation, then so be it. Because all I can do is express myself and hope you take something from it.
He never wanted to be called a violent guy, even though he grew up in the ghetto.
From Compton, I could have easily came out and said, I did this, I did that. I done with a whole bunch of niggas out in front, just giving off fact where I'm from. But that ain't me. I'd rather talk about my reality. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather talk about something a little bit more deeper than that. The reasons and the problem and the solutions behind it. So when you hear these stories in Good Kid, Mad City, when you hear these stories in To Pimp a Butterfly, it's a little bit deeper than just the music. It's cats out here really trying to do something and really trying to spark the idea of positivity in the community. Let me tell my story. Let me tell other stories that's out here that want to do something different, but can't because you're in an environment where you just got to adapt. And what happens is it invites people in to get another perspective.
At one of his shows, cameras captured a security guard crying to his music, and it deeply touched Kendrick.
So to see that, and shout out to him, by the way, because I see him, bro, I was like, man, I wonder what he's going through, but at the end of the day, that's how you want everybody to perceive your music and, make them feel good, make them feel like a moment they're attached to, they can live forever.
Definitely, and I can definitely see how people are very attached to music and very gravitated and very emotional when they hear your music. I mean, sometimes when I hear your music, I want to cry too.
And when he reacted to Tupac, he felt the same struggles he had when he was young.
Is America gonna help us ever? Because we know for a long time they haven't. Are they ever?
Is America gonna help us ever? Pac was wild, man. This is I think this is his take on being from the ghetto. You know what I'm saying? I was raised off welfare and food stamps and Section 8 housing and things like that. So a lot of times, I ain't gonna even lie, majority of my life we had assistance. My mom had assistance. My pops did what he had to do, moms had assistance. As a kid, I used to think that was always help. They giving us money to go get some food, like, it works. But as I got older, that was a psychological thing. What happens is it helps us in the times, but it keeps us wanting more and not being able to fend for ourselves as a community.
Let's not forget when he met all his childhood heroes, NWA.
I want to get y'all take on how y'all feel about my generation today and where we head as far as music.
I like a few. I like you.
you?
Yeah, I like you.
You number one on my shit. You know what? It's not just because our relationship and your is like top of my playlist all the time. Because you got that, the way you approach it.
Finally, this moment with the legendary Rick Rubin.
Were there any people that you saw growing up that you had that feeling about that you did get to meet, and what was that like?
That was bugged out. It's crazy. Dr. Dre,
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg, Dre for sure.
Tell me about your relationship with Dre.
It's a great thing, man, because I once looked at it as just me being an ultimate fan. I'm still a fan to this day. But to actually sit down and have conversations beyond the music, he wasn't just a figment of my imagination that I was watching on TV screen. It's almost confirmation. People I've watched, they just didn't get there out of pure luck. They actually worked hard, and they are human beings with real emotions, real drive.